actually like the Beatles singing it too, but I just love this Ray Charles thing. But I was reading about Let It Be, and Paul McCartney wrote it. And it's kind of interesting because John Lennon basically said it had too many, religious overtones to it. He didn't like it. But Paul McCartney had a dream one night. His mom came to him, and his mom told him, he was going through all this stress in his life, and his mom told him that you need to let it be. And so that's how he wrote the song. Shortly after that, I think the Beatles split up and everything. They were going through a lot of chaos. But that was, and the mother was Mother Mary. So it was Mother Mary, which I thought was kind of interesting. So, this whole idea of, all this stress in our life, just let it be. And he said that it changed his life, when he saw his mother. We try so hard to fix and control and manipulate our lives to work out the way that we want them to. And when the energy of allowing and this energy of just surrender is a much better way to live. But it's hard. It's totally hard to let it be, this whole game of life that we play. So speaking of game of life, I want to tell you a story. If you're a golfer, you might appreciate this. So you guys are golfers, right? Yeah, I know you golf. So you guys golf. So anyway, this was interesting. I read this little thing on the internet, and then I looked it up, and it's true. But a while back in the 1800s, when I guess the British settled over in India, they brought golf over there to, decided for recreation that they would bring golf over. And so they found this big golf course over there in Calcutta, and they set it up. And as they started to golf, all these monkeys would drop from the trees and pick up the balls, right? And then toss them. And I guess they tried everything. They tried everything. They didn't know what to do. So I think they've shipped them away, and pretty soon the relatives would come and they would have all these monkeys again. They put fences around the fairways. They did all this stuff to get these monkeys away. And finally, what they decided that they would do was establish a rule, a ground rule for that course. And the rule is, and if you play on that course today, it's play the ball wherever the monkey drops it. Can you imagine? I thought that was so funny. So you have no control wherever that ball goes, And if you get this great shot, you get this great awesome shot, all of a sudden the monkey gets it and he throws it way out, or you get this awful shot and he puts it right near the hole. You never know what you're going to get. And I thought, wow, this is like, isn't this a good metaphor for our life? It's like we need to play where the monkey drops it, right? That's what this whole talk is about. It's being able to just play the ball, no matter what goes on in your life, just play the ball. And, quit trying to fix it, trying to change it, because it doesn't work. It doesn't ever work, being in control, I was thinking about this in my life, it's being in control isn't a bad thing. There's times when we need to be in control. It's just that we are so overly controlling in our lives. And I thought of the times in my life, me personally, when I was most controlling. And it was when my life was out of control. Does that make sense? So when things in my life were really spinning out of control through a divorce, that was crazy. I had to hang on to everything. I controlled my kids' life, controlled everything, because my whole other life was spinning in chaos. And so I thought about my husband that was dying, and I was living with Judy, I think, at the time, and oh my God, my whole life was out of control. It was like he was dying, lost the house, lost the money. I think I had even kid problems at the time. Everything was totally out of control. And I can remember just like grasping on to things that come around. I gotta control this, I gotta control this. And it's what we do. It's because we want something, right? We want something that's steady. And the truth is when we control, and when we try to even, grasp onto stuff, then that goes away too. You know what I'm saying? We grasp too hard. And so the call here is to be able to step back for a minute, to see what's going on, in our life. I needed control in my life because my life was so out of control. And I think that a lot of us do that too. I'm thinking about, let's see, okay, I had a boss. I'll tell this story because I'm looking at different situations and I know what goes on in most of your lives. But I had this boss, and this tells the story completely. And he suffered this loss. He went through a lot of grief, a lot of big grief in his life. And he came back. He was gone for a while, and the company was running really well. Everybody everybody was doing really well, those sales were up and everything was going well. He came back and then he took control, right? And he just like zapped everybody's creativity. You know, he had to do it, he had to be there, he had to do everything. Because now that I look back, you know, at the time everybody was so upset with him. But as I look back, I can see, you know, the pain that he was going through at the time, and that was his way of controlling. So it's something for us to look at in our own lives, that when we take control, there's usually something that lies under it. And the truth is that we feel safer sometimes. You know, we seek this refuge in control because it feels like it's safer because we know what's going to happen, and we don't. But we think we do. We think we do. So this is when the controlling mind comes over, you know, comes over us. And we think that we have to know everything, we have to do everything, we have to plan everything. And usually there is an underlying reason. And so I invite each of you to look inside of you, see what that underlying reason is that puts you into the mode of control. Now a lot of you will say, I don't have any control on my life, I don't control. The truth is that if you're in fear and if you're tight, if you're not open and flowing with life, you're in control of something. You're in control of something. Maybe it's not always a drastic issue, like I'm talking about when my husband was dying or something. Maybe it's things, here's what Rico says, is that there is probably a control dimension in these little things. Now think about in your life, okay? We want things to be different than the way they are. Okay, that's one. We want others to be different. That's a big one, isn't it? You guys want some family members to be a little different, or want someone to call back or visit us? Sometimes the house isn't as clean or as neat as we want it to be. See, we're trying to control that. Other people don't act the way we think they should. We feel compelled to anticipate all possibilities. Let's figure this out. This could happen, this could happen. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's figure it out. Let's figure everything out. We can't get some people to like us no matter how hard we try. We thought of what to say. This is me. We thought of what to say after an altercation. You ever do that? You ever do that? Something happens and then you're going over in your mind, oh, I should have said this. I wish I would have done this. I could have figured this out. If I would have done this. See, you're controlling the past, you're controlling the future. And the truth is that life happens in the present moment. Life happens in the present moment. Control happens in the future and it happens in the past. And so we live anxiety-ridden lives. So we live stressful lives. And the truth is that the energy of yes is so different than the energy of this controlling nature of ours. This energy of yes is this allowing of life. It's this softness of life. You know, maybe it's different for everybody, but for me, when I'm in control mode, and I thought about this too, is that it's this tight energy, right? And you're trying to figure it out, and your eyes are darting, and you're like this, and your hands are like this, and like me, my jaw goes like this. Goes like this. And I'm in control mode. My heart races. Okay, and then your mind goes from topic to topic to topic. You're not present with anything. But in your yes mode, now this is how you can tell if you're in control. If you're in a yes mode, when you're just in this surrender mode, you're in this energy. Because see, there's a different energy in your life in surrender, in acceptance, than when you're in control. And when you're in this energy mode, you feel spirit move through you. You're open to answers. You say yes to life. And if you say no, it's with a unconditional yes. Do you understand what I'm saying? There's times when you can say a high quality no, we call it. But that's a surrendered no. You see the bigger picture in life. You know, your vision really expands when you're open to this yes in life. Like, yes, this is the way it is. I'm surrendered. I don't have to like it, but I'm okay with it because this is the way it is. This is the cycle of life. This is what's happening. So saying yes really means stop fighting with life. It means stop controlling life. It means stop fighting with yourself about what is. Accepting life on life's terms. Stop fighting the universe for the natural flow of what life is about. Stop resisting and pushing and say yes to life. I like what Eckhart Tolle, he talks about this a lot, and he says that complete acceptance of what is about the flow of life. It's not about giving in. It's not about giving in at all. It's about going with what is in life and feeling God through it, feeling the spirit of God through it. It's surrendered action, right? We can still do something, but we're surrendered to it. And when that happens, we produce better results. You know, I know in my life, sometimes after I'm really stressed out, The minute I take a breath and I say yes to life, it's like a new energy will move through you, this surrendered energy. And that's what the God energy is. I think that through the breath, when you allow, this whole new intelligence moves through you. The intelligence of the universe moves through you and gives you answers that you never thought that you had. It's funny, because my daughter, just about 2 or 3 months ago, I was sitting with her and she goes, geez, Mom, I noticed that your jaw was going like this. You're clenching your jaw. And I didn't even feel it. I said, what? And she said, your jaw. I noticed lately you've been clenching your jaw a lot. And I noticed that my jaw had been hurting, right? And I said, I'm not stressed. But after I started bringing awareness to it, and this is what I want to get at, is I brought awareness to it, and I noticed that my jaw was clenching a lot. Right through the day, I would do it a lot, that even it was painful. And when I started to bring awareness to my stress, just noticing it, and breathing and parting my jaw a little bit, this energy came through. My jaw stopped hurting. My life kind of changed a little bit over that simple little saying yes. I didn't know what it was. I tried to figure it out. I mean, sometimes you're going, I think there's subconscious stuff rolling around in your head. And the minute that we bring awareness and we relax, it goes away. And I think that's what this call is. It's nothing profound. It's just enough to be who you are. Be surrendered in action. Sometimes it's a little harder to make the shift from control to surrender, so we have to ask ourselves these questions. What am I afraid of will happen if I let go of control? What's going to happen? The truth is, it's not going to kill you. It's not going to kill you. It's not a life and death issue if you let go of control. Find out whose business that you're in. Is it your business or not? Because a lot of times we're controlling somebody else's business. That's a huge one. And then consider what yes would feel like. What this power of yes to life, this surrender to this incredible field of energy. Because that's what we are. We're this field of energy, this field of God energy. And we can't do it when we're in that tight controlling mode. We can't do it. We have to let go. In David Rico's book, he talks about Margaret Mitchell. She was an Atlanta journalist, and she was thrown from a horse when she was working, and she had to stay home. And she decided that she would recuperate at home for a few months. So what she did was she let it be. She stayed home. She passed the time, and she decided to write a romantic novel. Well, that novel turned out to be Gone with the Wind. Gone with the Wind. So she won a Pulitzer Prize, and everybody knows Gone with the Wind. Because kind of something that she couldn't control, she let it be, she stayed home. How much in our life, if we just stepped back, and didn't try to manipulate, and we just accepted and didn't resist, even internally, could we do with our life? Einstein said that the most important decision that we'll ever make is the belief that we live in a friendly universe or a hostile universe. Which one do you live in? A friendly or a hostile universe? So that's my prayer for you today, is that you believe in all your heart that this is a friendly universe, that it supports you, that your energy is open to trust, to acceptance, and that you can let it be. Thank you.